No professional occupation is more frequently falsified in movies than archaeologists. They are usually all rugged figures, like Indiana Jones, risking life and limb in the search for knowledge. They have been exploring the nooks and crannies of the world to try and find the answers to life's greatest questions, and sometimes they actually hit the jackpot. From rare Roman statues to mysterious Mustatils, these are the 15 most incredible ancient finds that will amaze you. Number 15. Roman statues at St. Mary's Church site. Back in 2021, archaeologists working on the HS2 project in Buckinghamshire found a set of incredibly rare Roman statues whilst excavating a Norman church in Stoke Mandeville. The two statues appear to be one female and one male, with an additional head of a child. All three had been deliberately decapitated, with the adult heads buried alongside their bodies. Dating back roughly 1,800 years, the sculptures predate the 11th century church built above them. The reason for their destruction is uncertain. They may have been deemed sacrilegious during the church's construction or intentionally defaced after the Romans left Britain. The find was unexpected, as the team had been searching for medieval remains from the church's founding in 1080. Their exceptional preservation adds a significant piece to the understanding of Roman religious or civic art in the region, illustrating how sacred sites were often repurposed across centuries, with each culture leaving its own physical and symbolic mark on the landscape. Number 14. Pompeis House of the Small Fountain. Let's now go to Pompeii and talk about the legendary House of the Small Fountain. This tiny house is a pretty remarkable snapshot of Roman daily life, frozen by Vesuvius's destruction. Also called the House of the Second Fountain or House of the Landscapes, this home sits along the Via di Mercurio. It's named after a nearby public fountain carved with an image of the god Mercury. The house takes its own name from a mosaic fountain decorated with shells, located at the rear of its peristyle. A grander fountain, adorned with theatrical mask sculptures and marble accents, can be found in the nearby House of the Large Fountain. Surrounding the House of the Small Fountain are richly detailed homes, including the House of Pansa and the House of L. Caecilius Jucundus. The House of the Five Skeletons contains scenes from the Iliad, while the House of Pompanius preserves remnants of an ancient oil press. There are multi-story homes and shops nearby that indicate a diverse neighborhood of workers, merchants, women, and kids. Number 13. Shrunken Head at Mercer University. We mean this thing is super scary. Just look at it. In 1979, this shrunken head was used as a prop in the film Wise Blood. Later, it ended up at Mercer University in Georgia, where experts discovered it was 100% real. The head, known as a tsansa, likely came from Ecuador's Shuar people, who practiced head shrinking as part of ritual warfare. Tracing its history, the team found it had been acquired in 1942 by biologist Jim Harrison, who loaned it to the film crew without mentioning its authenticity. Many fake tsansas were produced in the mid-20th century for sale to collectors, making the oversight understandable. Upon confirming its origin, Mercer returned it to Ecuador through the country's consulate. The tsansa's preservation and eventual repatriation highlight both the enduring fascination with such cultural objects and the importance of respecting indigenous heritage. It remains a rare example of an ethnographic artifact that passed through unexpected hands before being restored to its rightful cultural context. Number 12. Mustatils of Saudi Arabia. These rectangular stone monuments scattered across northwest Saudi Arabia date back around 7,000 years. They are among the oldest large-scale stone structures on Earth. Over 1,000 have been documented, often featuring low walls with raised platforms at each end. Excavations have found animal skulls and horns within some, suggesting they may have been used for ritual or ceremonial purposes. Others speculate they served as ancient animal enclosures, which, if correct, would represent the earliest evidence of livestock management. Their vast distribution, covering more than 300 square miles, hints at a significant communal effort in their construction. The sheer scale and uniformity of these structures challenge earlier views of Neolithic Arabian societies as small, mobile groups, instead suggesting organized communities capable of large, coordinated projects. Despite increased research, the precise purpose of the Mustatils remains unknown, leaving them as enduring symbols of early social complexity in the Arabian Peninsula. Number 11. Prince Toneri's Palace in Nara. Archaeologists in Nara Prefecture made a striking discovery back in April of 2023. They found the grand residence of 8th century Prince Toneri, remembered for his devotion to Buddhism and the founding of multiple temples in the Nara region, including the revered Yakushi-ji. His estate was found across a 1,000-square-foot site featuring 3 principal buildings. These were built using the Hotate Bashira method, embedding large timber columns into the earth to support immense structures. Baked roof tiles from the same kiln spanned the area of 4 villages. The northernmost building, the largest, stretches more than 60 feet east-west and 30 feet north-south, with square cutouts for timber supports. The site occupies former aristocratic land, reflecting the rigid class-based land distribution of ancient Japan. The scale and materials reinforce theories that Toneri's residence once stood here, at the heart of imperial power. Its construction likely occurred during the transitional period between the 7th and 8th centuries. Number 10. Canaanite Scepter of God from Lachish. Back in June of 2020, while excavating at the ancient city of Lachish in Israel, archaeologists uncovered a 3,200-year-old bronze scepter capped with a layer of silver. Researchers believe it was once part of a statue representing a Canaanite deity, consistent with descriptions in biblical texts of idols holding scepters. This statue is nicknamed the Scepter of God, and the form of this thing is more spatula-like than rod-like, but engraved symbols distinguish it as ceremonial rather than utilitarian. The meaning of the symbols is unknown, but their deliberate arrangement suggests significance beyond decoration. Its discovery adds to knowledge of Canaanite religious practices, revealing connections between material culture and ritual symbolism. Lachish was a major Canaanite city-state before its conquest, and finds like this help illuminate the region's complex spiritual and political history. The scepter stands as both an artistic and religious relic from a mysterious civilization whose influence shaped the ancient Near East. Number 9. Roman baths beneath Spanish sand dunes. Again in 2021, archaeologists surveying Trafalgar Cape found remarkably preserved Roman baths buried beneath 30 feet of sand. Standing walls rise up to 20 feet, with visible windows, doorways, and remnants of a Hippocaust heating system. The baths likely served workers from a nearby fish processing and salting facility that operated along this coastal area around 2,000 years ago. Local residents, long unaware of the structures, recall playing on the covering dunes during childhood. The sand's protection has preserved architectural features and masonry in great condition, offering rare insight into the scale and engineering of Roman bath complexes in provincial settlements. The find links the maritime industry and urban amenities, showing that even remote production sites incorporated sophisticated public infrastructure. The digging is still going on to study construction methods and daily use, and we hope we can find more answers. Number 8. The Hittite holy city of Zipalanda. In 2021, Turkish archaeologists found a mosaic so significant that it's now being hailed as forebear of all known Mediterranean mosaics. That's no small statement, so here's what they found. This meticulous assembly of 3,000 stones emerged from the ruins of a 3,500-year-old Hittite temple at Usakla Hoyuk. Although time dulled its colors, the original shades, black, red, and beige, were laid in curved and triangular patterns, forming the mosaic. It predates the oldest Greek floor or wall mosaics by about 700 years. Excavators also discovered the remains of a palace at the same site, strengthening the theory that Usakla-Hoyuk might be the ancient city of Zipalanda. This location appears in multiple Hittite records and was long suspected to be a center for worshipping the storm god. Until now, its whereabouts had eluded experts. After further excavation, researchers confirmed the identity of the city. Zipalanda was no longer lost to time. Number 7. Ancient Ukrainian Burial Mound. Dig construction of a new road into the Ukrainian village of Novyi Sandrivka in early 2021 revealed a vast burial mound, or kurgan, measuring 400 feet in width, 250 feet in length, and 20 feet in height. The mound contains 24 burials spanning multiple eras, from the Bronze Age through the Scythian period and into the Middle Ages. Ceramic fragments suggest initial construction 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. An unusual feature is the presence of numerous crushed shells in the lower layers, whose purpose remains unknown. The site's continuous use reflects its enduring ceremonial or cultural importance across millennia. Once excavations conclude, the mound will be restored, and a museum will be established to preserve and interpret its history. This discovery adds to the growing body of evidence that such monumental earthworks served not only as burial sites, but also as lasting territorial or spiritual markers for successive communities in the region. Number 6. The Rurby swords of Bronze Age Denmark. During the Danish Bronze Age, an unusual class of curved swords began to appear. Among the most notable are the Rurby swords, discovered in Western Zealand. The first was unearthed in 1952, with a second found 5 years later, only a few feet away. Both weapons are nearly identical, dated to between 1600 and 1500 BCE, and decorated with precise geometric designs. One of them also features a detailed depiction of a boat etched into the blade, making it the earliest known example of such imagery in Denmark's archaeological record. The design resembles ships carved into Bronze Age rock panels across Scandinavia, including the famous Hjortspring boat. These swords' curved ends are also reminiscent of boat prows. Despite their impressive size, the weapons appear impractical for combat. Their craftsmanship, combined with their costly bronze material, points to ceremonial use. Their symbolism matches numerous boat-themed carvings found in religious or ritual contexts from the same period. Number 5. Marble inlays of the submerged Baths of Bayai. Beneath the crystal-clear waters of the Bay of Naples rests an ancient world of opulence buried for centuries. During a recent underwater survey of the submerged archaeological site of Bayai, a team of specialists uncovered an exceptional segment of marble inlay flooring at the Baths of Lacus. Crafted from premium imported marble sourced from Greece, the flooring displays alternating colors typical of late antiquity design. The Baths of Lacus were constructed within a domus, featuring a stone colonnade with collapsed columns spanning more than 260 feet. These luxurious villas once belonged to Rome's elite, including emperors, during the 1st to 3rd centuries. As the coastline gradually shifted, the villas became vulnerable to submersion and were finally claimed by the sea. Today, the underwater park of Bayai protects this irreplaceable heritage site. To maintain the park's cultural and environmental integrity, activities like artifact disturbance, underwater fishing, and swimming in specific zones remain strictly prohibited. Number 4. Spanish Armada cannon theft. Well, now this find is just awesome. Back in April 2021, fishermen off Ribera, Spain, recovered 3 bronze cannons from the seabed, believed to be from a ship of the Spanish Armada. Before authorities could retrieve them, one cannon disappeared. Investigators later found it at a fisherman's home, leading to charges for cultural heritage theft against him and 3 relatives. The cannons are thought to have come from a vessel dispatched by King Philip II in 1596, long after the Armada's defeat. Historical records suggest the ship sank in a storm near Cape Finisterre, one of around 20 lost in the area. Now reunited, the cannons are housed at the Galician Sea Museum in Vigo for restoration. The not-so-good incident underscores the vulnerability of underwater heritage to looting and the challenges of protecting artifacts that resurface unexpectedly through fishing or dredging. These weapons now stand preserved as part of Spain's maritime history, representing the nation's 16th-century naval ambitions. Number 3. Aqueduct of Constantinople. The Aqueduct of Constantinople, one of Rome's greatest engineering feats, extended over 70 miles and functioned for more than 7 centuries. A study by Johannes Gutenberg University researchers revealed that its water channels were scraped clean of carbonate deposits roughly once every decade throughout its use. This maintenance ensured uninterrupted water flow to the Byzantine capital, despite the immense labor involved. Some sections were large enough for workers to walk through upright. The aqueduct's longevity reflects exceptional engineering skill, as it remained operational into the Byzantine era. Built from massive stone blocks and precision-fitted masonry, it stands as a testament to the logistical and architectural capabilities of the Roman Empire. The cleaning methods used remain uncertain, but the meticulous upkeep underscores the structure's importance to Constantinople's survival. It's an ancient wonder. Number 2. Gallo Roman mosaics at Château de Marigny. Archaeological surveys at Château de Marigny in Fleurville, France, uncovered 2 elaborate Gallo Roman mosaic floors beneath a 19th-century stable. Dating to the late 1st century, the mosaics once adorned reception rooms in a luxurious villa. Their intricate geometric and floral patterns reflect high craftsmanship and the wealth of their owners. The site also includes service areas, corridors, and a hypocaust heating system, illustrating the sophistication of Roman domestic architecture in the region. Although the chateau was constructed in the 16th century and later expanded, it appears the mosaics were either unknown to builders or deliberately left buried. Their preservation beneath later structures has kept the colors and designs remarkably intact. These floors offer valuable insight into the artistic and cultural influences present in Roman Gaul, as well as the continuity of occupation on the site over centuries, linking ancient prosperity to the layered architectural history of rural France. All right now, let's end this with Number 1. Grotesque wall painting in Calverley Old Hall. During late 2021 restoration work at Calverley Old Hall conservators uncovered a 16th-century wall painting concealed behind a 19th-century plaster wall. Executed in the grotesque style popular in Renaissance Europe, the monochrome artwork depicts fantastical creatures, climbing figures, and vine motifs in black with white highlights. It is likely commissioned by Sir William Calverley, who was a knight and former sheriff of York. The piece dates to the 1540s, so it's not that old. But it's interesting. The latter wall appears to have been added to protect rather than erase the work. The building subsequently fell into disrepair before being acquired by the Landmark Trust in the 1980s, by which time the painting's existence had been forgotten. It is now set to be conserved as part of ongoing restoration. This rare survival of Tudor domestic art offers insight into the elite tastes of the period. What do you think about it? Let us know. And we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.